So, welcome to my first ever video with my voice. Today is different, and it's a day before Christmas. Originally, I was going to make a Christmas video where I will be trying to do art, but then and decides, no, I can't do that with time limit. I'd rather do finish art, so or I'd rather represent the end result rather than prog- progress. However, this one's different. I am actually studying computer engineering. We are building and we are talking about creating programs. And this is my free time, and this is a project I've been doing. I am actually developing a good title, but however, but it, but it's basically a text-based game like the olden days, where you just where they just present text and you are given options. Apologize for my antivirus. Note that uh, this compiler is actually safe, and there's nothing wrong with the file site. I'll just keep my antivirus on in case of uh, other undetected issues. But anyway, so far this is what I created. It's a simple program based. I haven't really thought of the plot yet. I was more focused on creating the program, but what I do enjoy is build working with it. So maybe I'll continue uploading videos of it as I work. Maybe I'll work with it while uploading, and then you guys can try it. And also make it into a live stream. I don't know. I know it's not the most entertaining, but I just needed to upload the video today, and I didn't know what to do. I know today's gaming in the gaming algorithm, it has to be Christmas related, otherwise it not well, yeah. And even though this is not Christmas related, it is different. Hopefully it works. Maybe people will see it. But either way, as you can see, you have like in the olden days, it's basically like I said, it's a text base. You're in a situation you don't know, and then you are given command. Here you have to select a number and and the command you want to do. So if I press 1, it will give me a prompt. There's an iron room, a sink, and a chest in the room. I'm still fixing the format. I know it's not the most glamorous. It's a bit too close to the edge. I understand that, but priority, I would say, consider this is to finish the program first before adding the final touches. Because start adding the final touches now, it might mess up the program anyway. But anyway, what I'm proud of is actually you see now. If you notice, I already in the first option, I'm giving the out command to search. And if I were to press search again, it will give me the prompt, you have already searched the room. There is nothing new, which is nice. I like that. And also works for other commands. But if you, but if I want to present, but if I want to show you something first, so sorry about that. So if that you saw what happens if you pick the same command twice, but I wanted to show you what happens if you pick a different command. Let's say I try to stand, correct? You try standing up, but you discover chains around your legs. Now, if I went to search again, as you can see, it's a different prompt. It depends on what command you pick. And what I'm thinking, actually, for the big starting part, is the player who needs to select all three options for progressing to the next chapter. Or either way, it's actually I'm gonna fix fix the command later. And actually, as I can say, this is the command. It's not this is a program, and it's not the most glamorous. And for some people, it might be a bit intimidating, but I'll break it down. So the main program is this one, int main. That's the main. That's where the main program. This other programs are, I would say, like a bit are, hmm, yeah, these are also programs, but this is actually, I mean, this is big, it's like the big one. And if you can notice this part one, part two, well, these are the, I would say, like the titles for the other program. And if you notice they're separate, it's because it looks cleaner. See, if I were to put all of this in one command, look so complicated. But if I were, let's say, close this, as you can see, it's neater. I anything like, for example, let's say I want to work on part one. I'll just open this and start working, and I can keep this closed because I don't need it and it won't mess up. I need only part one and main, and I'll work on that. Part two will be closed so that I won't have, so I don't get confused because some programs see most programs take more than 1,000 lines of coding and it's such complications. Yes. Mm. So today I have no idea what I'm gonna do. I am actually undecisive what I'm planning. But either way, doesn't matter. We can just start programming and see where we'll go from there. So as you can see, I made part two, and look, and if you close it, it's neat. As you can see, no issues or whatsoever. It looks neater, doesn't it? There, see? Simple. Now I have no clue what I'm gonna do for part two, but I guess I'll stick with my plan of add of letting the user select three options. They can decide if they want to do all three, if they want to select the command for all one, or if they want to do doesn't really matter. It's still an early prototype, I would say. And like I said, I haven't fully fleshed it out yet, but my main goal actually is to finish a program today, finish a game. So what I'm gonna do is actually copy the commands from from part two and just slap it here. Why? It's because the commands in part two are most of the commands are similar to one another. Here, what I'm doing is adding part three to the main program, and with that, basically adding the command here, it allows the compiler to read, search for programs that are titled part one, and then read it. For example, it detects part one, right? So it will look for any program that are titled part one, which is this, and then it will begin reading the compilation. Anyway, so that we have part three. Uh, okay. Oh, wait, no, that's main. Apologies, one sec. It's best to put some space between the two. That way, you don't get confused sometimes, and I do get some confusion sometimes. So anyway, now we have part three. What do we want our program to do? Also, I forgot to include this one right here. There. Uh, I would like to explain first. So printf is basically the command for allowing for the computer to know what to display. Like if I were to, uh, sorry, interesting. Okay, so, right. Hmm. Give me one sec. Hold on. So there's a system issue with the command. Hold on. So after refreshing my laptop, everything seems to be working once again, and we're back at where we started before I copied the programs here. So let's redo everything again and put it. So if you notice this, int options, these are basically the options. There's nothing else I can explain. Basically, if you notice here, enter number is basically this command allows the user to input. It allows the user to search it. Over time, it will be more complicated as the program continues to develop. But so far, let's just keep it simple. Uh, with the type of prisoner 2318, I guess it's obvious you are in a prison. But like I said, I haven't fully fleshed out the type everything. Yeah. So first, let's just run the program first. Ah, there we go. Don't forget to add part 3, parentheses, and semicolon. And let's put a space there. Build and run is a command that allows the program to check for errors. And if should it detect no code errors, the program will run effortlessly. It's beneficial because for build, it only detects for programs. Run, it basically passes through any errors. So should there be any errors, it will not detect. Build and run will detect and run should it be functional. So should there be no errors in the program, it will work functioning. So we've seen this before. We still enter again. So so as you can see there, it's if you notice there hasn't been a space here, which is fine. After all, it was a quick press. Programming, I would say, isn't it's complicated. It's a complicated relationship. There are days where it's happy. There are days when it's sad. There are days when you just want to rage. And programming is basically it. Like it's not only for intellectuals. Anyone with basic education, basic knowledge, could able to program. Yeah, make a simple program for yeah. So I guess in part three, I'll edit the front lines, and this time we'll have even more fun. So let's see. Wait, hold up. I will close part three and part one because I meant main. But anyway, once I put part three, just close it. It doesn't matter anymore. Where's it? Ah, right here. So just place that over here, put it in part two. Now you can and place it directly here. There. That should fix that. And if we also include it here, fix that one as well. Anyway, so part three. There's a change a bit of lines. I feel like I'm compelled to speak as I write, but then again, I'm not I'm not great at multitasking. So as you can see, I'm speaking in silence because this is not scripted. Maybe in the next episode I might script this one, but then again, doesn't generate. But anyway, you waited in silence once, once, once more. Outside. And if you can see, if you sometimes see this one yellow because I only have one monitor. I'm not rich or anything, so this is all I have, and I'm just checking here from time to time to see how long is the video is, and I actually don't remember how long the video is, so I'm just gonna, uh, yeah, just gonna be a unedited video. I'm not gonna edit anything. Whatever you see, whatever happens on my monitor, you will see it, and if you don't like it, I'm sorry. Anyway, so we saw earlier what happens if for part two. We saw what happens if the option for part one was A, correct? So check this out. If we include the output for part two, it will be different. So watch this. The if we let's close this for a sec so I can explain. Or I guess it's better to just present this. Once again, apologies for my antivirus. Okay. Now, so let's say we take a so let's say the first option was search, second option was search, correct? So as we notice, it's the same, correct? Now for this one, it has to be complete different since it's been searched twice, right? So we want a different output. So here's what we will do. So if we open part two, you would see scan, which basically detects it detects the input from the user. Since we're using numbers, it will be percent %d. I can zoom in. Apologies. So percent %d is int, and int is used for detecting numbers. Anyway, and at and yeah, this ampersand b, that basically tells the computer, that tells, yeah, the AI, that the input that the user provides for at d here will be stored at b, and then any destination b, solo b, like switch b, will be used as command. And as you notice here, switch b, basically, since it was a multiple choices, we will use the b and it will detect the command. And if you notice, there's an if a, because in part one, I mean, we use a as a command. Now, if you notice, it reads as this: if a is equal to 1, print, you have already searched the room. There's nothing new. Because it detects the option of part 1. So if a is 1, b is 1, if this the this outlet, if this condition is true, for example, like look, I choose search, correct? So b is equal to 1, it goes to case 1 since the option was 1, 1, case 1, and then it will read this. If a is equal to 1, print you have already searched the room. So it remembers the option for part 1 and then checks. If a is equal to 1, then it will print this one. If it's not equal to 1, it will print a different command, which we use the command else. And yeah, so for that one, so that will be the same. So if A is equal to 1 and B is equal to 1, meaning two A's, let's check this one. Now, as you can see, if A is equal to 1 and B is equal to 1, meaning if all three options are the same, this one should be printed. If not, this will be printed. Let's begin. Obviously, we have to take into account if A is equal if one of the previous options was 1. We have to take into account for that, but for now I just wanted to show you what happens if both are same. So one sec. There we go. I need I'm gonna think if I want to shut down my antivirus list. But anyway, so let's say we go 1, correct? So search, there's an iron room, a sink, and a chest in the room. So if we search again, that's 2 already. You have already searched the room, there is nothing new. And this is the third again. Now if we press 1, again, you have already searched the room. There will be nothing new. As you can see, it's simple, and I find joy in making programs like this. Now, apologies. Well, my, uh, so that's what happens if both are 1. Now, what happens if it's only one option. That's where else if comes into play. We don't use if on like you see there's three commands we have if, and else. If we use if and else if yeah, if we use the command if we have a condition. That's the first condition to program. Think of it like a criteria. Like, is it good for you? Yes or no? No. Junk food. Yes. It is fruit or vegetable. Yeah. Fruits. Made of it. That's basically the case we're doing with if and else. Now, if we go for a if only, it basically rejects a program. You see, there's an issue I noticed. If I go if and if, it reads the two command, and if it qualifies if both conditions are satisfied or true or correct, it will print both commands, which is not what I want. What I wanted is that if this is false, it goes automatic here and automatic here. So anyway, else if A is equal to 1 or B is equal to 1, print, let's go back here, where is it? This command, this specific command will copy this. I mean, I could type it down, but then again, I'm lazy. So as you can see, if the option 1 was selected before, it will print here. You have already searched the room. There is nothing new. Now, what happens if neither was picked before? So we click else, then open parenthesis, close. Then we'll put the command print f. I notice sometimes program. I notice my classmates we sometimes forget to put the f after print because it doesn't sound correct. I mean, like print f. We're used to the word print, not the print f. But anyway, so all we're gonna do for that one is just simple click this one. Wait, no, wrong command. This one. Copy this. Wait, right here. I will copy that. Uh, Wait a second. Ah, wait, don't worry about it. I see what. Okay, so copy that one. We close this one, and then we put that. We put this. So it sorted out. Yep, it sorted itself out. Now check how it happens. We build and run. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, okay. You might actually get used to it. Alright, so let's say what happens if all commands are the same. Wait, no, we've seen already what happens if all the commands are same. So let's say the first command was search, correct? And then we go for stat. Now check search again. You've already searched the room. There's nothing new. Pretty cool, correct? Now let's say if neither of the action, if neither, let's say we go 3, 2. As you can see, 3 is for shout. You shouted as well as it's good, but only signs it right. Ah, I forgot about. So let's say we shouted, correct? You shouted as well as good, but no signs. Now let's try to choose the command shout. You try setting up, but discover chins around your limbs. Now we choose one. There's iron room, a sink, and a chest. As you can see, yeah. Yeah. So for today, I guess it's just an introduction to the program I want to share. Maybe next time I will make a more scripted video, or I guess more entertaining. I don't know. Maybe put some background music on, or maybe I'll edit it or whatever. So anyway, today I'm gonna do is just only finish part 3, which is same as this one, and then I'll show you the result, and then that will be all for today's video. I mean, I could just technically copy this, but then again, I have to copy this one, yada yada. So print. Okay, that'll be cool. So print 2 is standing. Okay, I'm a bit of an artistic, so instead of saying red, I could say red. Instead of saying blood, I could say red water, but then again, I'll go with crimson red. Crimson red. Yeah. Put semicolon to, uh, if you know, quotation marks are used so that the program understands this was the end statement. If you want to put quotation marks, we have to include that one. As you can see, it's here at me. Quotation mark here. I will be honest, it's not the most glamorous job, but it's for those who truly enjoy it, it's super fun. Provided you know what you're doing and you're not being half-witted with it. Hmm. Technically speaking, don't worry about it. So b equals 3. I mean, there we go. Oh, I would say it's always for me. I would recommend always running a program from time to time and saving, especially saving. I remember there was like a there was a like we were doing writing a program, and then all of a sudden it was malfunctioning and all our programs were gone. So always save to be safe, and always run to notice any change. Check run from time to time. So page 3. This is what happens if you try to start 3 times. Okay, and this should work. So if we were to run the program again, and I would warn you about the ding 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 from my antivirus. 3 rings. There we go. And then another. Okay, so we seen what happens if you pick search 3 options. So let's look at the other options. If we choose stand 3 times, you try standing up, but discover chains around your limbs. Now, if we try to stand again, you already tried. Your muscles remind of your earlier thing. Now, if we go again for the third time, no more. You said to yourself as you watch crimson red fluid escape from your body. And that will be the end of our program. Ding ding ding. Apologies for that. Now let's see if we go shout. You shouted as fast as you could, but only silence or pride. That's one. Second attempt. Your voice cracks. Your throat needs rest before you can speak again. And then if we go for a third time, nothing came out. Your voice was nothing than a whisper. No one would hear. I obviously we should have put it out nothing more than a whisper. But then again, it just proves that the command works, and that's it. That's basically from computer engineering. Computer engineering is basically the merge between computer science and engineering. Actually, computer engineering we merge both we focus on both the hardware and the software of technology. Computer science they're more focused on software. They're more knowledgeable of all the commands. They're more advanced. For us, we're a mix. We study both programming, which is this one, and also we're hardware. So basically, we're more while computer science specializes on programming, we learn both the hardware and the software, and that makes it fun. For sure, it will be more work, but I think this year we've been only doing programming. Anyway, that will be all for today's video. Thank you for attending, and I'm sure only maybe one viewer would notice it, but thank you so much to you for coming today, and I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you maybe in a couple of months. Actually, I'm trying to think of a good time to do this. Actually, I've been, I guess this is basically the mini rant. You can skip the video already. You can end the video already here, right now, right now. But if you want to continue, go ahead. So this YouTube channel I'm doing is, I know it's not gonna be the most famous or anything, but at least if I can get maybe 10 viewers or maybe at least some viewers to comment. Actually, hate comments, sure, they might be hateful, but still again, it's still comments, and I'll just slap it with a comedy. But anyway, that'll be all, and I'll decide on when I'm gonna upload next. And I hope you enjoy. Yeah, peace out. Peace out from the program. Peace out from Wellware. Wellware signing out. Actually, I'm gonna improve. I guess I have to improve my introduction and my output. And now I'm not gonna do some editing because I have no clue at editing. All I have is a laptop and it's old. Functional but old, but anyway. So anyway, Wellware signing out.